Hello, I'm IBX2Cat and welcome back to another second channel vlog thing. Today I'm going to be talking about 2015 and 2016. That's right, 2 years worth of discussion for the price of just one video. One video doesn't even have a price, so that's really infinite amount of video for zero price. That doesn't make sense. Oh, but yeah, today we'll be talking about 2015, giving my kind of year in review type deal, and then also talking about 2016, because as I record this, it is 2016. I just got back on January the 1st, so that's why I look like a mess and there's just stuff everywhere. I did a lot of walking today, and obviously New Year's Eve was last night, which could imply that I'm not in the best of states today. So, yeah, today I'm going to be talking about 2015 and 2016. I'm going to set myself some goals for 2016, but not like New Year's resolution goals, because everyone has the goal of like, I'm going to go to the gym more. And then on, January the 5th, they're like, well, I went to the gym a couple of times. I technically did my goal. And even if they don't believe it, it's like, most people don't achieve their goals because they're so vague, unactionable, and big. And I want to instead set goals that are reasonable, useful, and I can be like, I did that in 2017. So, future Toy Cat, if you're watching this in 2017, hopefully I'll make you proud. But first of all, let's talk about your 2015. Let's remind you about what happened in that year, which is now 2 years ago as you watch this. Because I want to aim this, this isn't me being crazy, this is just me aiming it at like a future Toy Cat. So yeah, hopefully the world hasn't been destroyed in 2016, and you're actually watching this. Hopefully there is a 2017 Toy Cat. Hopefully there's a 2018 one too, and he can watch this with you. Well, you can't watch it together, but you can watch it. Let's start by talking about 2015, shall we? So, first thing in 2015, the big thing, and obviously it's the big thing that you're all part of, is YouTube. So, YouTube in 2013, 14 was a hobby / side thing I did. At one point it was, paying my rent, like, just about. But, for the most part, I was in a situation where it was a kind of like a part-time job I did on the side of college or whatever. And through 2014, through 2014, like working, and at the very end of 2014, I believe, the channel hit 100,000 subscribers. At the end of 2015, 400,000, quadrupling in a year. During that year, I finished my college course, and it came to the point where it's like, yeah, the best full-time option is to pursue YouTube. And the fact that I'm now doing my dream, working with video games has been my dream, and even if it's like doing the really cool, crazy stuff, when it's like, I play 4 hours and I'm just exhausted, I love it because I really do love video games, and I really do love Minecraft. There's every now and then someone will be like, oh, you must be bored after this time. No, I really do love it, and the fact that I get to, work with it and try and work out all these new things every day is really, really cool. Obviously, like everything, eventually it has its frustrations, but right now, I really do love it, and as a result, all you, that is something we can do. So that's the big part of 2015. If everything goes downhill after this, because I guess that's something that could always happen, I'd like it for 2015 in my life, like my memoirs will always be like year of the YouTube, and as a result of that's pretty cool. So, what else has happened in 2015? So I mentioned it briefly there. I am now like fully educated. I finished course, and this is the first time I've not been in education because I'm just done with it. Like, obviously there's all the compulsory stuff, and then I failed a lot of stuff, and now I'm like qualified to go and do the full-on university stuff, which is still like a big decision to make. But mostly, I'm now like, it's all done. I got the highest grade on the course I was doing, which is something I'm proud of, given, to just put a long story short, I did very, very poorly in a lot of the other stuff I did because I didn't really try too hard. This year, I tried very hard, and I succeeded. So yeah, great as far as like the professional side goes, because I'm doing, dream job, and I'm like qualified to do something that's real later on. But besides that, what else happened in 2015? So, I guess another big one is I actually did my first real people job. I mentioned before in a video, or maybe a live stream, that like I've never actually done a real people job. That's what I call it, a real people job, because when I was much younger, I'd worked myself on the internet, and then just before YouTube, I did a lot of writing stuff. I was kind of like a journalist, and then YouTube, which is one of these other like not real people jobs. And actually this year, because I needed it for my course, I did 4 days of a real working experience that got me real money, and I did a real thing that a real company really needed, and that was kind of cool, like, real deadlines where it's like, this actually needs to be good. This needs to be a good enough proof of concept to get this high up guy, should I just say, in Panasonic to, approve this project. And it's like, okay, we're going to give it to you, which I think, I admire the, dedication they had in me. I guess, they'd heard about me, and they're like, yeah, this guy must know his stuff. And yeah, I made I think I made a Windows 10 app, and apparently they liked it. So, I did a real good professional job people thing. Yeah, those words add up to something. Also, in 2015, the last kind of good thing is I lost 2 stone this year. Well, I probably put on like half stone of that in the last like 2 or 3 days, but from 20, last year, I keep saying this year, but from like I was like 13 and a half stone in like I think it was early February. No, wait, it was late January of 2015, and I was 11 and a half just about a week ago, and now it's probably a bit more than that. But still, I think that's progress. I think, over that long a period, it's probably not so impressive, but a lot of that was, like, I think 1.5 of that was in the first 6 months. So, I learned how to be healthy in life, and that's kind of good. Because, when people are healthy and it's just like, I'm going to drink Diet Coke, and I'm going to go and eat salads, like, I don't know, that, to me, that's kind of cheating, because you're just ruining your life for it. But I've learned how to, like, balance it and have good in life. So, that's, I think I did good there. And also, for the kind of bad side of 2015, because I've mentioned all these amazing things, and I'm really proud of myself for 2015, but also, there's been a lot of messes going on. So, the big, terrible things is I've lost a lot of friends in 2015, well, e-friends in 2015. That's kind of a separate category, because, obviously, I can't comment too much on it. I'm sorry that I can't say this, but I'm pretty sure there's an ongoing legal case, and there are laws about commenting on legal cases like that one, and I really don't want to say anything that I shouldn't. So, I'll just say that, obviously, I had a friend that is no longer a friend because of what he did to one of my my other friends, a female friend, and, yeah, it really, really sucks. Like, I'm gonna feel a little bit of guilt about that for a little time, because, obviously, every now and then there'd be, like, the tiniest hint from her, and I'd be like, if I had just realized and done... But yeah, there's always gonna be, a little bit of guilt, but 2017 hopefully you're not feeling that anymore. Hopefully you're just like, it's out of your control. But yeah, I lost some friends as a result of that, because not only do you lose the friends, both of them there, but you also lose all the people that are like, oh, what's with this? You're disassociating with someone just because they committed a serious crime. Apparently that's something that some people defend. So it sucks that I lost some friends this year, but apparently they're not the sorts of friends that I want to keep around too much anyway. And the friends that I, I do still have are the ones that's like, yeah, they're not crazy. And honestly, to take a positive from that, as hard as it is that I learned that, I'll just say it, like, Lion always seemed incredibly off. Like, at first, it was kind of just like he's a different person. But as it went on and on, as he grew to YouTube fame, he got a little bit more and more crazy. And I've learned that you've got to address that. You can't just say, well, it's just him and I'm learning more about him. You got to say, no, that's crazy, or no, that's, just, you gotta kind of put people in their place every now and then, I guess. Because if you just, if you ignore a lot of crazy stuff, they'll do more crazy stuff, and you might miss something terrible, and you might be able to do something. So, 2017 Soycat, if you have a crazy friend right now, I don't know, maybe give him a talk and see if it's actual crazy, and the type of crazy that really needs to be, given some professional help, or if it's just like, haha, look how kooky he is. So, yeah, that's, that. The final thing in 2015 is, man, I learned a lot about security, and it's funny, because I made a video on, like, passwords, the way they're stored by servers, and then, like, 3 days after, I was the target of a bunch of hacks, like, just so many, and fortunately, a lot of stuff wasn't gone into. I think, the total list was something like, maybe Amazon, although it was, an empty Amazon account, Spreadshirt, apparently, Twitch, and there's one other one. So, it was my old Skype too. So, most of all my current stuff, I obviously have as secure as it can be, but there's a lot of stuff, like, the old Skype, for instance, where it's just like, there's no way to secure that. If they just happen to come across that, they get it. And it sucks that happened, but, it's made me a lot more focused on password security. So 2016 Soycat, if you get hacked in any way, I guess you had your warning. But yeah, this year's been crazy when it comes to YouTubers being hacked for stuff, and the fact that, it really does, like, sting, because every single time I'm checking Twitter now, it's like, oh, something's gonna be missing. And I guess it's raised my paranoia level to the next level, but besides that, everything's been pretty good in 2015. Just two terrible things, just, lots of hacking and lots of friendship loss, but everything else is going good, so it kind of balances out. So, 2016, I wanted to make this video a lot shorter, but we're at 9 minutes already before we've even spoken about 2016. What are the goals for 2016? So hopefully this is a bit shorter, because I have 4 goals for 2016. And again, I wanted to make them things that I can look back in 2017 and be like, you did that, Soycat. Go on. I guess more of that weight loss stuff. So I mentioned how I lost 2 stone this year, and I guess they're probably an easy one, because the thing that made me do it is, like, I did a, maybe it was like a BMI check or something, and it was like, it was officially on the overweight side, and I was like, okay, this isn't just like, I'm just whatever I am anymore. This is a real problem. So I was like, I'm gonna work till I get to there. And I think 11 stone, or whatever that is in pounds, is still pretty good, but I'd like to go a little bit, like, low, because wait, I've got a thing over here. It's like normal. I'm just on, like, the the middle of normal. I like to be on the thin side of normal. I'd like to be like an above averagely in shape human. That's what I'd like. So this year we went from apparently slightly below average to average. This next year, average to slightly above average. I'll always be focused on that stuff. And since it's just like I eat food and I like eating tasty food, I'll just eat tasty food that's a little better. And honestly, like a simple change like that, and then maybe skiing more or like running more, boom, we got ourselves that goal. But it's still nice to have. That's what I want to, look back and be like, I did that. Because there are changes like that where if you just make some small changes to your life, then and you make them every single day, then in weeks or months, then you'll get to feel the good every single day for doing something that's just routine. Because after it's like 28 days, maybe something becomes habit and you just do it over and over again. Hopefully that happens with that. So that's goal number 1 here. Goal number 2 is channel improvement. So, like I said, 2015 was the year of the YouTube, and a big part of me is like, I can't top 2015, like quadrupling in size, all this stuff. But the goal for 2016, I don't want to say like, oh, let's reach 1 million subscribers, because that would be great. But, it's kind of, to some extent, out of my control. I can work as hard as I can, but, it's out of my control. So instead of doing something that's like that, where it's just entirely, unactionable, instead, I just want to focus on improving the content there, because I really liked a lot of the stuff I could produce in 2015, now that I actually have time, because obviously doing the 1 video a day while I'm dedicating to me as college was kind of tricky, where 2 videos a day, and also making 2 good videos if I can a day, obviously, like, stuff like the History of videos, they take some research, but I really am proud of when I put out, like, stuff like the Minecraft Xbox 360 beta video, like, that the information just wasn't out there before I made the video, and I love it when stuff like that's out there, because it's like when you do a PhD and you add to the sum of human knowledge. I feel like I did that to some extent with Minecraft this year. I mean, obviously you can argue like, oh well, it was technically out there, but yeah, I like teaching people stuff in videos. I want to be able to take it to the next level in some way. I want to do stuff like change the outro. It's been the same all of 2015. Get a better one in some way, get a better intro, and also I want to keep things going on the upswing. Hopefully, we're doing just as good, if not hopefully somewhat better by the end of the year. Let's make that vague goal. Just as good, if not better, and better like production quality and stuff. Because although I've got the best capture card I can, and I render in the best stuff besides like 4K, which is something I actually might be doing this year. But yeah, as far as like actual like quality of the thing it goes, it's pretty good. But I want to step up the rest of stuff. Like maybe we get a procaster instead of a podcaster. Because the thing about this podcast right here, it's unnoticeable to most people, but it's like if you're an audio professional, you can pick up some internal noises from my PC, because I don't have an audio grade motherboard, so it's like either get a thing that's meant for that, or I can get a mix amp and get the black version of this one, where you can isolate all that noise and make it a bit better. I'm wondering if that's too crazy, but there's stuff like that where it's like, let's take this next level, let's get like one of those intros so you have a recognizable Toy Cat sound, like it's like and then Toy Cat, something like that, where you're like, Toy Cat video. That's what I want to get in 2016, and hopefully you do it. 2017 Toy Cat, I'm relying on you. You got a year to do this. It's a pretty easy goal. Improve the channel. But yeah, I think it's almost a vague goal, but I think it's good enough for that. So improve the channel. Goal numero dos. See, I can speak Spanish now. Goal number 3 is to go on more dates. So, I don't know if everyone knows about my personal life, and I'll assume you don't, and assume that too much information is already out there when I say personal life. But yeah, I went on several dates this year, and I think that was really good. I think not only is it like a good, an experience that you kind of need to do in life in general, but also it's kind of fun. Like it's in the same way you can play video games and improve, or you can do a real skill and improve it. It's kind of like the people skill. You get to practice it on hardcore mode, where it's like one-on-one, you gotta learn stuff about them, you gotta convince them you're a good person, you gotta do all this stuff while also doing something else. I think it's kind of interesting, and I've enjoyed it a lot on the several dates I went on last year. So more dates this year, I think, because it's also a good opportunity to go traveling. Speaking of traveling, by the way, I'm getting good at this way. That's what I want to do, more segues this year, more like, speaking of traveling. But yeah, I wanted to travel to every single, total, I want to have been to every single one of the 28 EU countries. So this is the hardest of the goals, and it's almost unrealistic. So I wonder if I can, no, I can't show you. But basically, if you don't know, there is 28 countries in the European Union right now. I think there are more joining, not 2016, but they're in the process of joining right now, so they might be there by the end. But I've also been to 10 of these, so it's really just go to 18 countries in the EU, which is still a big goal for a year, because that's a country and a half every single month. And yeah, that's my goal for 2016. I'm terrible at dates, because the thing is, this is almost political, and I don't ever talk about politics. This is like Euro politics, which is a separate thing. I'd say like Europe as a continent is kind of moving to this big European identity kind of thing. Obviously, Britain, where I'm from, is kind of an exception to that because we're voting to leave, or we're having a vote to decide if we leave. But like we are as a continent, we're coming closer and closer, and I love to know what the other people on the continent are like because I just assume everyone speaks English, but that's not true at all. I assume everyone is kind of like the UK, but we're the outsiders, we're the odd ones out in the UK, and I'd love to experience every single country. So there's 28 countries in the EU. I've got a map here to help me. I've been to Denmark, I've been to the Netherlands, I've been to Luxembourg, I've been to Belgium, I've been to France, I've been to Ireland, which technically totally counts. I've been to Slovenia, and I've been to Germany. I think that's all of them. And yeah, we're going to be up in that. The number of countries left, in case you're curious, it's even an 18 or 19, because yeah, we've got, okay, so I've got a big map here. I've got Sweden, I've got Finland, I've got Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, I was going to say Belarus. That's definitely not in the UK, in the EU. We've got Slovakia, which I'm going to in January. I've already booked the flights and stuff. We've got Austria. Again, I'm going to be doing that in January. We've got the Czech Republic, Hungary, not Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Italy, Spain, and Portugal. I believe I didn't say 18 countries there, but we've got Malta, and we've got a bunch of small countries that I can't even just see on the map right now. But yeah, I want to go to every single, Iceland might be in there as well. But yeah, I'm going to have a big list, and I'm going to like tick it off as I go along, because I think it'd be cool, like I said, because it's kind of like if you're in America, there are 50 or 51 states, it's 50. I always get the 51st from somewhere else. I think Puerto Rico is the 51st, so if I just remember 51 now, then that's good. But yeah, there's 50 states in America. If you're from, I'm going to drag my map over to there. If you're from California, you should probably know what North Carolina or New York or Florida are like, because they're so very different places. If you're from, if you're from Georgia, you should know what Washington or Alaska are like, because they're parts of your country and your kind of what you're known as outside the world, and you should probably know what's going on there. At least I think if you want to if you wanted to experience it anyway. Obviously, there's no point doing it for the sake of it, but I think I want to travel anyway. Might as well have a cool goal like that. Go by the end of the year, if 2017 Toy Cat, have you been to all 28 EU countries? Or at least, I'll give myself a pass here. Let's make it 26, because Malta is really tricky to get to. If you don't know, Malta's the smallest EU country by population. It's just a tiny island. I don't know how it even got in, if you're asking me, but I'm not in charge of the committee. And yeah, we'll also give ourselves a pass on there's a really dodgy one in there somewhere. Maybe Romania, because the thing about Romania is I really wanted to go, I really wanted to go there at the end of 2015, but I kind of had this 2-month period where I was like, I can't be on flights because they might surprisingly release an update. So, and that's a big thing for my channel. So I was, I decided to, not go. Like, Romania and Bulgaria were the next two on my list at the time. And as that happened, even though I was unlikely to go to a nightclub by myself, it terrified me that there was a nightclub fire and a bunch of people died in Bucharest. Because the thing about a nightclub fire is it sounds like, oh, people died in a fire, that's terrible. But dying in a fire is terrible enough. But dying in a fire in a nightclub is horrendous because people crush themselves on the way out because everyone's running because you're all drunk. It's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible. I'm like, let's ignore that. So if I'm going to Romania, it's not going to be Bucharest. Well, it probably will be Bucharest, but I'd like to visit somewhere else in there. But I might give myself an opt-out from 1 or 2 countries. But 26, at the very least of 28, that's my goal. So 4 goals for 2016. I'm going to go from again. Lose at least another, I don't know, let's say down to 11 stone flat. So like 3/4 of a stone or a stone. Improve the channel and be at a better place at the end of the year than you are right now. More dates. I think it was 7 dates total if you include like multiple dates with the same people, and then 28 countries in the EU. Go to 26 of them. I think that's reasonable for 2017. Let's see if we can get that done. So this video was way longer than I thought it would be. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I've just been saying words at the camera. I'm gonna go play some. So I was gonna say Black Ops 3, but I don't have PSN Plus anymore. So I'm gonna go play video games of some description and enjoy the rest of New Year's Day, and then go to sleep at like 10 PM because I'm very tired. Hopefully you all enjoyed your New Year's Eve, by the way. I had some very, very nice views from where I was, and if you did like the video, you can like it, but I don't care because it's the second channel. Speaking of which, second channel, don't care. Goodbye.